What's something people don't know about the Great Depression? Nearly a third of American families faced life-threatening cold every winter, forced to take extreme, sometimes desperate measures just to survive the night. Imagine it's 1932. The temperature outside is freezing, and you have no oil, no coal, no money, and 3 children sleeping in the next room. No car, no phone, just a small lamp, a wool blanket, some aluminum from last night's baking pan, and your own 2 hands. Yet millions of American families survived these brutal winters. They didn't just survive, they kept their homes warm enough to sleep, eat and live. How? That's what we're diving into today on Warcraft Survival. This isn't theory. These are real, documented Depression-era techniques. And the wild thing? They still work today. Whether you're prepping for a blackout or just curious about old-school survival, you'll learn practical, forgotten methods. If you value this kind of knowledge, hit like, comment your favourite era, and subscribe to Warcraft Survival. We bring you deep-dive survival content you won't want to miss. Let's get started. In Depression-era homes, nothing was wasted, especially heat. Families used tin trays, baking pans, or foil as heat reflectors behind lamps, candles, or stoves. This simple trick bounced heat back into the room, making a tiny lamp feel twice as warm. Kids gathered in the glow, hands and faces warmed by rays that would have been lost. Aluminum was prized, but polished tin or mirrors worked too. Today, it's still one of the smartest ways to stretch every bit of warmth. Depression-era families learned fast. You can't heat a whole house, but you can heat a room. They hung heavy blankets or quilts in doorways, blocking off unused spaces and trapping heat where it mattered. The living room became the family's sanctuary. Everyone slept there, surrounded by makeshift barriers. The rest of the house was left to the cold, while warmth and energy concentrated in one space. This wasn't just comfort, it was survival. By shrinking the area to heat, families stretched their fuel for days or weeks. Every gap was stuffed with rags or paper to stop drafts. Furniture and multiple layers added extra insulation. Today, the same tactic works. Consolidate into 1 or 2 rooms, seal off the rest, and use heavy curtains or blankets. Don't fight the cold everywhere. Fortify your warmest room. Next, let's see how walls and floors became allies in the fight against winter. Insulation in the Depression wasn't fiberglass. It was whatever you had. Old rugs, worn clothes, and newspapers blocked winter's chill. Floors were layered with scraps, and newspapers lined baseboards and windowsills. Kids stuffed socks and rags into cracks, turning every draught into a battleground. Windows were draped with heavy curtains or blankets, sometimes even cardboard or oilcloth for extra protection. Every layer trapped heat and kept the cold at bay. Resourcefulness was survival. Today, gather every textile you can, rugs, towels, even bubble wrap. It's not about perfection, but persistence and creativity. Modern materials help, but the Depression mindset, use what you have, still wins. Insulation is about observation and action. Find the cold spots and block them. Now, let's see how airflow can actually help you stay warm. Depression-era families understood hot air rises, cold air sinks. Instead of fighting it, they used it. Small vents or cracks near the floor let cooler air in, pushing warm air down from the ceiling. After cooking, oven doors were left open to let heat circulate. Makeshift baffles, cardboard or old doors, redirected warmth across the room. A well-placed baffle could raise floor temperatures by several degrees. Ceiling fans, when available, ran in reverse to push heat down. Even waving a newspaper could help circulate air. Every trick made precious heat go further. Today, use a fan on low or a piece of cardboard to direct heat from your fireplace or heater. Open floor-level vents just a crack to help circulate air. Don't let warm air pool at the ceiling. Make it work for you. Next, let's capture and store the sun's warmth. When fuel was scarce, families turned to the sun. They placed bricks, stones, or metal tools in sunny windows to soak up heat during the day. At night, these objects were wrapped in cloth and tucked into beds or placed at feet for hours of gentle warmth. Heated water bottles or canning jars did the same job. In the morning, the cycle repeated: reheat and reuse. The principal dense objects absorb and release heat slowly, smoothing out temperature swings. Today, use bricks, stones, or ceramic tiles near your heat source, then move them where you need warmth. The heavier the object, the more heat it stores. Passive heat storage won't replace a fire, but it can make cold nights bearable. Now, let's talk about a hidden enemy: moisture. Damp air feels colder and steals heat from your skin. Depression-era families learned to keep their homes dry, even without dehumidifiers. Stoves, lamps and candles helped drive out humidity. Sometimes a window was cracked just an inch, even in winter, to let moist air escape and dry air in. Laundry and wet shoes were dried outside whenever possible. But ventilation was crucial. Without it, carbon monoxide could build up. Today, use safe heat sources to dry the air and crack a window occasionally for fresh air. Dry air is warmer air. Moisture management is the invisible foundation of every other warmth technique. Without it, even the best insulation falls short. Let's review what we've learned. That's the forgotten heating playbook of the Great Depression, ready for you to use. These aren't relics, they're practical techniques that work today. Master reflection, insulation, partitioning, convection, passive heat storage and moisture control, and you'll never be unprepared for cold emergencies. If you love this kind of survival wisdom, subscribe to Warcraft Survival. Share this video and comment which era you want us to cover next. Stay prepared, stay resourceful, and keep the spirit of survival alive. The ingenuity of the past is your blueprint for resilience. Thanks for watching. See you next time.